Hi everyone, welcome back to Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Today's video is a holiday vlog. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Alice and have way too many books. And today, as you can see, I'm somewhere different. I thought I'd put together a little holiday vlog to show you. And here I am in sunny Majorca. So today I'm going to go and chill out, and I thought I would start another book. I'm going to insert some footage of the holiday so far, and after that I'm off to read by the pool. I've already started a Mary Westmacott book, Absent in the Spring, which I'm very much enjoying, but I do want to save a bit of that because it's quite small and it's handy for carrying around, and I'll probably take it with me on a trip tomorrow. So I am going to take with me to the pool today Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, and that was sent to me by the lovely Charlie from Charlie Book Reads, and she's told me that this is a very well travelled book, so it's travelled here as well, and I'm going to check it out today. So I will show you some clips of holiday and I'll speak to you later. Harry, you going on holiday? Excuse me, I need to pack. Are you gonna get out of the case? Good morning, it's a couple of days later and I thought I would update you on my reading on holiday. I've mainly been reading the 5th season. I haven't actually made any progress with the Agatha Christie, and today is Friday, so I might read some of that if I can tear myself away from the 5th season, because this is so good. And as you will know if you've been here for a while, I am not at all a fantasy reader, or I haven't been for many years, and this is brilliant. I suppose reading fantasy for me has kind of started at reading the First Law trilogy, which I am 2/3 of the way through with Jack from Spreadbookjoy and Gemma from Gemma Books, and we're going to be reading Last Argument of Kings later in the month. And I've been doing that on audiobook, which has potentially made a difference to me, because one of the things I find tricky in fantasy is lots of different names and like made up names for things that are just strange names. I don't know why I struggle with that, but I always have, especially if I can't decide in my head how I'm pronouncing it. So I think listening to the First Law on audio really helped, because I didn't have to decide how to pronounce things really. But the 5th season, I'm finding that despite the fact that this has lots of strange names and I don't know how to pronounce them because I'm reading it physically, I still absolutely love it, and I've got straight into it. I'm now nearly 200 pages in and I just don't want to put this down. It's so good. So yeah, there's lots of different characters being followed here, but I really like all the different storylines and can't wait to see how they sort of converge together. And I believe this is a trilogy as well, so I might have to look into getting the other 2 books when I finish this one. Holiday's been going good. Hopefully you've seen some clips, and we had a day out yesterday, and the day before was the day I spoke to you on, where I was sort of chilling out. So yeah, I thought I'd show you just what's on this balcony, or what I can see from this balcony. So let's have a look. So from the balcony we have, first of all, view of part of the hotel, and this is the indoor swimming pool and spa, and then swimming pool for somewhere else, and the sea. You see across to Cala Major, I think that is, and you can see down into the sea, and over there I think past that sort of big cruise ship, if you can see that on the horizon, is Palma, and we're in Majorca. And yeah, this way, don't know where all these places are, but here's the pool for the hotel. I'll show you that now. It's looking like a cloudy day today, and the forecast is actually for thundery showers today, so I don't know if those are going to appear or not. Hi everyone, I'm back from holiday now. I just got back in the early hours of this morning, so I'm a bit tired, but I thought I would do a quick wrap up to this vlog and let you know how many books I read on holiday. starting with the first book that I started, Absent in the Spring by Agatha Christie, writing as Mary Westmacott. I didn't actually finish this on holiday. It was a good holiday read, but it was not really fulfilling my like holiday mood reading. I really like to read a really fast-paced book on holiday, and this was quite slow and steady, and I'm going to finish this off now that I'm back at home. One book I took with me on holiday but didn't read at all was Women Talking by Miriam Taves, so hopefully I'll still be able to get to that this month, but I didn't get to it on holiday. Since I last checked in, I finished the 5th season. I can't remember if I've already said that, but I finished this. I absolutely loved it, and I really want to get the sequel straight away. I think the sequel might be called The Obelisk Gate, and I thought this was brilliant. For someone who doesn't normally read fantasy, I really enjoyed it. Thought this was fast-paced and brilliant, and I would definitely want to read the rest of the trilogy, so perhaps I am becoming more open to fantasy, I don't know. But yeah, a great read, perfect for holiday, really fast-paced, couldn't put it down. And following that, I picked up the Mike Hammer Omnibus by Mickey Spillane. Now this I took on holiday because it had 3 books in it, and I was thinking of them as 3 shorties for Shorty September. And I was also thinking that if I took this with me on holiday, and I would be less likely to run out of reading material because it was 3 books in one. However, I only read book 1, I the Jury, and I'm not sure that I want to carry on with Mike Hammer, to be honest. I mean, I knew what to expect from this. I knew it started out as pulp fiction. I knew that it was sort of hard-boiled detective type thing, and I would think that Mickey Spillane, from the introduction to this, is kind of like the forgotten one, alongside the more famous Dashiell Hammett and Raymond Chandler, both of whom I've read their most famous books, but then probably haven't gone on to read the rest. This was very popular at the time, and kind of, I think, looked down on in like it being really popular and pulpy type of way. I thought this was fine, and it does have some elements that I have enjoyed in the past. I do quite like Mike Hammer as a character, although it is, as with books of this era, like the 1940s, I think, it had all of the elements you would expect from that. A lot of sexism, racism, and not particularly good portrayals of like women or any minority really. So yeah, you do kind of expect that from kind of hard-boiled books of this era. I wasn't particularly too uncomfortable with it. There was an awful lot of womanizing, and like basically Mike Hammer just seemed to fancy everyone he met, and they all fancied him and threw themselves at him and so on. And this was supposed to have a really shocking ending, surprising ending, but I had actually seen the ending coming quite a long way away, so I don't know. But I was thinking that I would leave this omnibus there, probably unhaul it and not read the other 2. The other 2 are My Gun is Quick and Vengeance is Mine, and yeah, I don't know whether to get to those. If you are into this, you like pulp fiction, you like Mike Hammer, please do let me know. Are those 2 more typical of his writing than maybe his first one might have been? I do always feel a bit reluctant to give up on somebody after their first book, because a debut can tend to be less good than other ones. I've heard the final one in this collection, Vengeance is Mine, is more typical of his writing, but I'm not sure that I particularly want to go through My Gun is Quick. I'm unsure as to whether I want this hanging around on the giant TBR in the hopes that I'll read the other 2 books. But then again, they would be 2 more shorties. It certainly didn't require that much brain effort, and yeah, maybe I should just dig into these pulpy books. see if Mickey Spillane's writing does grow on me. As I said, it was fine. It wasn't quite what I was looking for in a holiday read, but yeah, really wanted to read the other book I'd taken away with me, which was Love Me, Love Me Not by Kirsty Capes. This is the follow-up to last year's Careless, which made the Women's Prize for Fiction longlist and was robbed of a place on the shortlist, in my opinion. And if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you will know I absolutely loved that book. It ended up in my top 10 of the year. And it was a very improbable book to do such a thing, because it was about a teenager named Bess who finds herself pregnant, and she is living in a foster home, and it really explored like those two issues, and it was absolutely brilliant. Now, Love Me, Love Me Not is not at all like Careless. It's very different, and I listened to Careless on audio. I think I would have really enjoyed this on audio because it had the same narrator as Careless, but I won this book from a giveaway, so I decided to read it in physical form. And this is about Lucy Banbury, who has recently found out, when we join her at the beginning of the book, that she is adopted at the age of 26. And this bombshell has sort of thrown a spanner into the works of her mind, and she doesn't know how to feel about this, and she feels like she has crafted herself the life that she always wanted, but is it the life she always wanted, or are things starting to come apart around her a little bit? This is definitely not the kind of book I would normally read. I wouldn't like to classify this. I think it is kind of literary fiction, but I also kind of think it's a bit more contemporary than my usual jam. But I really enjoyed reading this. I read most of this in a day on holiday, and I felt really seen by some aspects of this book, in that Lucy Banbury, although she is quite an unlikable character, especially to begin with, she is a character who struggles with a lot of things in her mind, and a lot of those crossed over with things that I struggle with in my mind from time to time. So I identified with that greatly, and that obviously influenced my liking of the book. There's also some other great characters in this, and I liked the way it worked out. So perfect holiday read, but also really good read. Didn't love it as much as I loved Careless, but I did love it. So yeah, really pleased I finished my holiday on a high reading that one. That was my holiday week, and I managed to read 3 books. I'm going to count the Mickey Spillane as one book because I did read one book from it. I read 3 books. I started another one, which was the Agatha Christie. Do let me know in the comments, what sort of books do you like to read on holiday? Do you have a favourite go-to author or genre for holidays? I really like to read a cracking thriller, and I didn't really do that on this holiday, but I did think that the fantasy book had some really good fast-paced thriller elements. If you don't have anything that you would like to say in the comments, please do leave me maybe a holiday related emoji, and I hope that you will give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And I'll hope to see you all again very soon for another video all about books here on Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.